Video games, how we doing? Oh, every comment's coming through twice on my screen. Hey, we dig it. How we doing?
It's funny, suddenly just takes away control from it.
Ah, Sean, I finally have a name to put to the username. Very good.
Yeah, if you like, that's fine. Yeah, it's generally alphabetical.
Hello, Dawn. How are you doing? What time is it over there? 664 down under. What's cracking? Not a whole lot is cracking. We are still in lockdown for at least one more day. We'll see how we go. Hello, hello, Ralph. What's the temperature like in California at the moment? I'm pitting that's a lot warmer than it is down here. I've actually got a few things cycling through on my clock, so you'll be able to see the current temperature. That's sort of mid to high 50s in Fahrenheit. It's also going to cycle through the current time here. So it's currently 11 a.m. at the moment. And it goes through the YouTube subs, which is kind of cool. And hello, hello, Orca Torch. How you doing, guys? I hope you've seen my latest video. I did show the torch a little bit, but as I mentioned in the video, the dive was really bright and sunny and I didn't get to make proper use of it. As soon as lockdown's done, I'm hoping to actually get a proper dive in, maybe use the torch around the crevices, see what treasures and critters we can find in those. 8 p.m. Dawn, nice, not too late then. Oh, there's a few Canadians in the chat tonight. Hello, Tetsu. And hello, I'm going to pronounce these terribly, guys. Matakor. Thank you very much. Oh, we had the announcement already. I haven't been paying attention. Is lockdown extended? Someone want to let me know that for Victoria? $78. That's I can't do the Fahrenheit to Celsius math very quickly, but that's not too bad at all, I'd imagine. And I will try and remember your name, Jean, but I am really terrible at remembering names versus usernames, so do forgive me if I forget it. And yeah, fingers crossed for being out of lockdown soon. Yes, this is my very first live video. I'm not really in my comfort zone with these guys, so I'm probably going to sound a little bit awkward, and I think I'm way behind on the comments already, so I'm probably going to flick through a bit to catch up. But yeah. Lots of people saying hello, plugs for days. How you doing? DT Detect AZ. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Much love from Arizona. Much love back to you. Oh, someone got out and about. 2 rings and over 100 coins this weekend. Nice work, buddy. That's 2 rings and 100 coins more than I've gotten this weekend, I can assure you. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. 95, ouch. So that in Celsius, again, rough calculation, I think that's about the high 30s. That is really hot. Wow. Hey, Mish, we got our blue Nemo at the same time. Love your vids. Oh, thank you very much. How cool is that blue Nemo? Honestly, I'm having a lot of fun with mine. I haven't gotten out anywhere near as much as I'd like to, but we've kind of been locked down for half of the time that I've owned it. So fingers crossed for some more adventures in the coming months. We're almost at the coldest point of our ocean temperature now. All right. Oh, hi, Steve. My wife and I started hunting in Costa Rica. You were one of our inspirations. Oh, I'm curious, who inspired you? I wasn't actually looking at a lot of YouTube or anything prior to starting up the hobby. I looked up a few just to sort of see how machines worked and that sort of thing. I started out with a Minelab Go Find. So I was watching lots of videos of people using Go Finds, what they sounded like, what symbols were coming up on the screen versus what they were digging up, that sort of thing. Yeah, no real inspirations. I think I was watching Michael Oliver back in the day as one of the few channels that I watched. So I guess you could probably add him in the mix there. I'm sure he'll be chuffed to know that. Good question. I'm really sorry if I'm missing things here, guys. The chat's going really fast. And oh, hey, Ricky, how we doing, buddy? Thanks, I appreciate that. Yeah. Ricky is someone who I've chatted to in a few metal detecting forums lately, and yeah, he just had that light bulb moment recently that I am who I am here. Good stuff. Oh wow, scroll, scroll, scroll. 93 degrees right now in Portland, Oregon. 90 today in Chicago. Wow, it's so warm over there. I'm really jealous. Just a quick pop in to say, hey, have to work. Lucky you. I actually wish I could go to work right now. I really do miss my routine. But, you know, good luck at work, buddy. And, oh, Mayor, I don't think I said hi to you, buddy. How we doing? Good luck. Safe driving. Take care. Beach parks are in the field my favourite. My favourite is pretty much always the beach. It kind of depends on the mood I'm in though, because, you know, beaches are good for the mental health. Yeah, beautiful ocean, soft sand, the whole works. It's just really scenic. Parks, if I just want to go for some coffee money or I want the satisfaction of having coins with most of my targets, then yeah, I'll hit up the parks. But yeah, beaches are probably my favourite. Fields, I just haven't had enough experience, to be honest. I haven't got really much by way of permissions down this way, pretty much because I'm too nervous to ask people. But I'm working on that. Good evening, everyone. Hi, Marlon. Hi, Las Vegas. How you doing? I'm going to try and just tweak my screen here so I can see more comments at once. Change my resolution a little bit. There we go.
Shouldn't be any reason for it. Like Office 365 is a worldwide thing. It's not like a department thing anymore.
Hey, Mish, we'll have to do a live after 6 p.m. as us Victorians are at work. I normally would be at work too, buddy, being a fellow Victorian, but being locked down, being that I work in recreation, my workplace is closed. So I'm actually really looking forward to getting back to work. Get back to work. Hope your lockdown ends as planned. Fingers crossed, though, I'm sort of hearing in the chat that maybe that's not the case. Time will tell. Have a good day. Just popped in to say hi, gorgeous. G'day, how you doing? I think I've actually caught up on the comments. My goodness. Now, is it just me or is the chat frozen on my stream? Maybe it isn't. Let's see if I can fix this. Give it a reboot. Oh, wow. I didn't realise California had another round of fires going on. That's no good at all. Hope everyone from that area on my feet, because I know a few of you are from California in here, so stay safe, guys. That is no fun at all. Both my sons love your headset, Mish. You must be cool because they haven't commented. This headset's just a cheap one, to be honest. I actually don't like it a great deal, but I do have to edit my videos with headphones on because I'm very picky about the sound quality. And sometimes if you edit and you don't have headphones on, you miss things like wind noise that a PC speaker might not quite pick up. But yeah, these ones are actually a little bit uncomfortable. I had a really good set and they broke. So I think I might go get a good set again. Hello there, Detector Beast. How you doing, buddy? I think it just slowed down. Yeah, so say all of us. I'm a little bit slow this morning too. What am I doing with my time? Probably not as much as I should be doing with my time right now. We've been locked down for, well, sort of a week and a half now, I guess. Not that long, but it's very hard to maintain your routine, your motivation. Forgive me, when this is the 5th lockdown we've had. So, you know, I don't have any particular political rant or anything I'm going to go on. I'm more than happy to do what's best for the safety of the community. But yeah, it's just hard to keep that momentum going at the moment. Oh, thank you very much. I was actually having a chat with an American mate of mine the other day when I heard my voice back on one of her stories, and I sound really, really Australian as far as I know. I've got a very nasally, very Aussie voice, and being a country girl, I tend to use a lot of the Aussie mannerisms that maybe some of the city folk don't use. Things like g'day and stuff, they're not used commonly in metropolitan areas in Australia, but out here it's still fairly commonplace. Hello from Tampa, Florida. Hello, Joe. How are we, mate? Thank you, Witty Wiz. Howdy, howdy. Thank you, Gina. Appreciate that. Each video, fun fact, so each video probably takes a minimum, I'd say 10, 12 hours of editing. I do edit them more than I probably need to, but again, I'm a little bit fussy. Hello from Birmingham. Hello, Jim. How are you going? Hi, hi. How are you, Jeremy? Cheers from Atlantic Ocean coast of New Jersey for a holiday week. Oh, that sounds nice. Enjoy your holiday, Dennis. No, so that's not quite true. I can leave my house. So basically the official ruling is we allowed up to 2 hours of exercise outdoors. And it's got to be within 5 kilometres of our home, which is sort of 3 miles thereabouts. So I can go detecting, you know, like there are options. I could hit up a park. I'm just looking out my window at the moment and I won't be able to show you, unfortunately, but it's blowing fairly hard. It's been raining on and off all morning, and the temperature, as you're probably seeing on here, is sort of 13, 14 degrees in the 50s in Fahrenheit. So it's there's not much motivation to go outdoors right now, let me assure you. Lost a wristwatch at Alligator Creek west of Townsville 30 years ago. Can you help recover it? It's a waterproof Seiko. I really wish I could for you, Vicky. I am on the opposite side of the country, unfortunately. That would actually take me probably a 2 or 3 day drive to get up there. So while I can't help you, what I'd suggest is maybe hopping into a Queensland metal detecting group on Facebook and maybe asking in there, because I dare say someone might be able to help you out with that one. What's the name of my underwater breathing device? It is a Nemo by Blue, and Blue is spelled B-L-U and then the number 3 instead of an E. Very cool little unit. Well worth looking up. They've actually brought out a new version called the Nomad, which is going to go down to 9 meters, so roughly 3 times the depth of what my Nemo can do. That's currently on pre-order at the moment. They're coming out towards the end of the year. Hello, Flash in your pan. Hello, Jose. How are we, buddy? Oh, gotta go. Have a good night, Jean. Thanks for dropping in. Wonder why you have an Aussie accent? That's, yeah, I'm in Australia, I guess. But again, being regional, I think my accent to people outside of Australia is probably stronger than some other Aussies. Yes, yes, that's what it is. It's a blue Nemo. And it shows great edit. Oh, thank you. I'm scrolling through trying to pick these comments to show up on the screen, but my software is showing every comment twice. So it's just filling my screen really, really quickly. And I'm on a 10-year-old laptop, so the resolution is not great, which means that every comment is taking up like a massive amount of my screen. Doing good for an old fat guy. Yeah, I can relate to that, man. Lockdown's got me good. What was your best find so far? That is really subjective. To me, it's probably any of the coins I've found from the 1800s, which is as old as I've found them. It's very hard to find anything 1700s and earlier in Australia, just due to our fairly recent Western history. My first gold ring was a really good one. I talked about this a little bit in my Q&A video recently, so if you haven't seen that one yet, make sure you go back through. It's probably about 7 or 8 videos back now. You'll certainly learn a bit more about how I got into the hobby and my favourite finds. Well worth a look. Now, forgive me, I'm probably going to have to scroll through a few of these high ones without showing them up on the screen, but hi, John. Yes, well done, casual and easy to watch this. Oh, thank you. Definitely a bit of effort goes into polishing them up, but yeah, I think it's worth it. I'd rather bring out maybe one video every week or two that's well put together than bring them out every couple of days. But I mean, people like different things too. You know, there's a lot of people that will like just a raw video of every day what someone's done each morning, detecting wise. So, you know, horses for courses. We use a lot of analogies. I like your shirt. Yes, Tassie Boys prospecting, guys. If you haven't seen them on YouTube, you are missing out. So Levi goes gold sniping various creeks and rivers in Tasmania. Well worth watching. If you think my production values are good, you've seen nothing yet. So go check out Tassie Boys on YouTube. You can pay me later for that plug, Levi. When does the rainy season start for y'all? Now. It has been raining a lot over the last couple of days. We are midwinter. The ocean temperature gets its coldest at about September where I am. So, yeah, it's still going to be wet, cold, and miserable for a little while yet. I'm probably way behind on... Oh, I am way behind on the comments, guys. So I'm going to have to be fussy here. Hello, how are you? I love watching your videos. Earning money for coffee is cool. Thank you. Oh, I am going to put one hello up on here, though. So what have I done here? Wayne, Mish, you go. I love you, Wayne. So in case you haven't seen Wayne's comments on my previous videos, I pretty much get a you go girl on every video. I actually really look forward to this comment each week. So thank you, Wayne.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hello, BC Treasure Trails. Hello, Ranjit. What have I missed? Dated an Aussie gal in college, loved her accent, but her dad didn't like mine. I think it's a dad's job to disapprove of who your child's dating.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas if you're running off the OneDrive folder, you can just, it's quick.
Oh, hello, Luke. How are you?
No reason against.
Thanks, buddy. So I'm just going to keep. Got to learn where to point on this thing. So there we go. If you haven't seen this YouTube channel, Dig It Detecting, do yourself a favor, go sub to that one. So Luke does longer format videos, so you're sort of looking at half an hour to an hour. He knows his stuff with detecting. He uses an Equinox, does a lot of coin and relic hunting. And just, yeah, if you want to learn more about how to get the most out of your Equinox, definitely check out Luke's videos. Again, invoices in the mail, Luke.
Yeah, I'm just trying to open it. It's not opening, so we might actually have to force close OneDrive. It's possibly.
I'm loving life. Thanks, Jose.
OneDrives as well as. We might scroll through again.
Okay, roughly how many days or hours do you put into, and then the rest of the comment was a week. I'm not getting out detecting much at the moment with all the lockdowns and the fact that I'm working a lot more these days than I was last year. I'm lucky to get out hunting once a week at the moment. So typically I'd go out for a hunt. I'd be out for 4 to 6 hours. Can't do that at the moment with restrictions. So, 2 hours. And then the editing will be 10, 12 hours or more. And that's, per video. So that's why I'm only doing 1 video a week these days. I used to do 2. At one point, I even did 3 videos a week. But, a bit of a time sink, unfortunately. Dennis just found a 1934 wheat scent on a New Jersey beach about an hour ago. Good job, buddy. I am way behind in the comments, so I'm going to have to keep going through. Hey, Digger Dan King Cloud. Hey, Canadian Relic Recon. How are you, mate? Mish, you are getting hacked. Please give me a wrench. Why am I getting hacked? Is something going wrong?
Yeah, no worries.
Let me know if anything sus is going on, guys. Just got my Equinox 800 a month ago. Didn't like it at first, but now I got it tuned up and love it. That's a really interesting comment. So when I got my Nox, and I use a Nox 600 for the most part, though we do also own an 800, it probably took me a good 3 months to actually find my feet with the machine. So I was finding stuff, of course, but I wasn't finding it efficiently. So it was, very noisy until I learned how to actually tune it into the circumstances I was detecting in.
Yeah, so what it's saying is if you want, you can fully download it to your computer and it runs a sync. So
Mish, if you had an unlimited budget, what other equipment would you get? Oh, so many things, so many things. All right, so next on my shopping list, I've got scuba regulators and the bits and pieces I need to finish my scuba kit. But I want to get quality stuff. I want to do it right. I want to do it safely. So that's the next thing. I know it's not really detecting equipment per se. After that, I would like to get something along the lines of a Minelab Excalibur 2 or similar, so a dive-friendly machine. That'd be a bit of fun, I reckon. But yeah, there'd be so many things. It's actually a fairly expensive hobby. We end up putting more into our equipment than we get out of it in terms of coins. Thanks so much, Michelle. Oh, thanks, Luke. You're a legend, mate.
Sweet. Yeah, so it's very similar to OneDrive. You'd be so used to it already. It doesn't look.
Oh, okay, Dan. Digger Dan King Clad. Dan Anderson. Yep. No, I didn't recognize the name change. I recognize the profile pic now that you mentioned that. Jeremy, wrong comment. Sorry, Dawn. Do you beach detect mostly or land hunt? Given a choice, I beach detect mostly, but at the moment with my current travel restrictions, I can't actually get to any of the beaches I typically film at. So I went out to a remote beach a few days back just for the mental health. I just wanted to get out of the house. And it was really good for that. But I knew already that the targets would be few and far between. And honestly, I found junk. I did film it. So if I wanted to, I could make a video out of it. But there was no good finds. There was no coin, no nothing. If you guys really want me to put that video together, I can, but yeah, I don't know. But yes, I'm dead keen to get back to the beach. Okay, thanks, Dawn. I saw your comment. I'll make note of that and I'll check it out later. This is with regard to getting the hang of a machine. It took several months on T2. Yeah, so as I say, it took me about 3 months to feel confident with the Equinox. And even then, I didn't feel like an expert or anything. I just felt like I could actually get it to a point where it wasn't noisy unless it was meant to be. So you've got to put the time into the machines. Definitely read the manual, 100%. The Minelab manuals are actually really good. They're well worth reading. Loved your latest diving video. Thank you so much. So can I tell you guys, I was actually super duper nervous about bringing that one out because I knew it had no detecting content in it whatsoever. Sorry, caffeine's a priority. Yeah, I didn't know how it'd go. And to be honest, it did get quite a few dislikes. So I was expecting that. But the amount of support I got and the amount of comments I got from regulars who normally tune in for the detecting side of things, but they watch the diving video anyway, guys, I really appreciate that so much. So thank you very, very much. Help Mish, hit that like button, please. Yeah, look, please, if you can hit that like button down below, that would be amazing. Yeah. I feel a bit weird asking for that, but it definitely helps. So every time you hit like on a video you're watching, it basically encourages YouTube to push it out a little bit further, test a new audience with that video. And that's kind of how our channel grows. You know, like everyone talks about getting more and more subscribers. Subscribers are not the be all and end all. I just want people to like and enjoy my content. And ultimately that helps me. It's also going to help you because it's going to then tell YouTube that you want to watch more of that type of content. So you'll probably find new YouTubers just by liking the videos that you're watching, if that makes sense. Hello, Deb. How are you, darling? I cannot wait to go hunting with you again. I've got to learn how to point to this. All right, so dig it, Deb, if you're not subscribed to her. That's another recommendation of mine. Deb and I have hunted together once. We had an absolute ball, plenty of laughs. Cannot wait to do it again. And look, hopefully in the weeks to come, we'll be able to make that happen. Thanks for dropping in, Deb. Should be out of lockdown Wednesday, so I'm looking forward to it. Me too, mate. Me too. Oh, hello, Diving Trip. How are you? I'm from Australia. I'm from the southern edge of Australia. So a lot of people associate Australia with beautiful tropical beaches and that sort of thing. I'm down the frosty cold end. So it's pretty, but it's cold. The temperature is cycling through on this if you're new to the stream. So I've got the time, the temperature, and my YouTube subs. I started with the Equinox. If you like that, I wouldn't mind playing with the CTX, to be honest. The thing I particularly like about the CTX is the ability to geotag your finds and that GPS tracking and that sort of thing. I reckon that would be really, really cool to play with. I'd be a little bit nervous about the weight of the machine over an extended period of time, but I guess I could equip it with a harness or something to offset the weight. But yeah, they look like a really fun machine. You know, guys do not read manuals. If one of us does, we will not follow. That is true. And then that'll be the same people in the forums that go, why is my machine doing this? Yeah, read the manual, guys. Always read the manual. Have you considered detecting goldfields of your country? Yes, absolutely. I've considered it. The thing that stops me is the distance. So if I want to go gold detecting, I've got to drive. Probably the closest goldfields I can think of would be 2.5, 3 hour drive. A lot of them are way further than that though. So I'd have to basically plan it over a couple of days, maybe stay with some friends, maybe hook up with a YouTube buddy, go detecting with them. I wouldn't mind detecting with some of my YouTube buddies one day for the gold stuff. Hint, hint, Levi.
So it just makes it that sync compatibility to be a little bit.
Thank you, Dawn. I appreciate that.
So going to OneDrive.
Jim, I hate autocorrect too. Gets me in a lot of trouble. Everyone needs. Oh, thank you, Dennis. I appreciate that.
So that's the main folder. So you might just paste it straight into that area. So then
yeah, a little bit cold. So at the moment, the temperature, very conveniently timed, the temperature is probably mid to high 50s. I think 13 degrees is 55 Fahrenheit. So if that gives you a general idea of where I'm at right now, it's probably a little bit colder indoors at the moment, actually. I'm not in a heated room right now. Do we get snow? Yes, we get snow in my state, not where I am specifically. I'm too close to sea level, so the snow doesn't fall down this far. But if I were, again, to drive a couple of hours, I can go to snowfields, absolutely. We kind of like it sweat in the cold. I don't mind staying at home in the warm. Neither do I. Great opportunity to catch up on some research too. Yes, well, I probably should be doing more of that at the moment. I haven't been doing much at all this last week. I think the motivation's just hit the wall. I still don't have a video prepared for next Saturday, guys, so I could very well end up doing another live stream at this rate. But look, fingers crossed. It might have to end up being another basic park hunt just because beaches are not really an option at the moment. And if we do come out of lockdown as planned, the earliest I can get to one of my beaches is Wednesday. The weather's not looking great this week, so I just don't know if I'll be able to pull one off in time. John's asked, are there any metal detecting clubs around where I am? Not that I know of. Here, we've got a lot of Facebook groups that are regional specific. So there's things like that that you can join to find detecting buddies. And I've got a few people down this way that I could go detecting with, not super local, but there's a few I could travel for. Again, just waiting for restrictions to ease. I keep all my finds. Do you keep or sell? I don't sell any finds at all. In fact, I have this for this purpose, and I know one of these is going to fall apart when I hold it up, but that is kind of my rings for the last year or so. Gold, silver, junk, all of them. I don't sell. I sort of figure I might eventually have a conversation when I'm going along a beach or whatever locally that someone might go, oh, hey, I lost this beautiful ring, 5 years ago. I'm sure it's gone forever. And I just love it to be that moment where it's in my collection and I can do like the longest period recovery ever. That would be amazing. I would so love to go visit Australia and hunt for some gold. Yes. Well, I kind of want to hunt for some gold in Australia too one of these days. I actually used to go panning when I was little with my dad when we go traveling. Never hit the jackpot or anything like that, but got a couple of flecks here and there.
Really?
Thank you, Bobby. Jeremy, are you near Walkabout Creek? No. Hello, Brad. How are you, buddy? Another one of my favorite Tasmanian YouTubers. Oh, this is a good comment. FBI, you're on a watch list. Okay, very good. Didn't realize you guys were watching Australians, but cool story. I would be happy to take you to detect a property in the goldfields one day. I have permission for overseeing that. Whoa, okay. That sounds like a date, Luke. I am absolutely down for that. Yeah, hopefully we'll get some predictable days one of these days. But yeah, absolutely, I'll come out for a weekend. That'd be amazing.
What will probably is a backup of any chat files we've had. So
farewell, Ralph. Thank you for joining me today, buddy. I honestly didn't know how this would go. I thought I'd maybe get 2 people join in. It looks like I've got like 29 people at the moment. That's amazing. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. You're keeping me entertained on an otherwise cold and miserable day, so absolutely love it.
It's automatically recreated.
What's your favourite find? Again, I don't have one standout favourite. I've got a few I've talked about. Definitely check my Q&A video if you haven't seen that yet. I mentioned it a little bit earlier. About several videos back, I did a lockdown Q&A, and I did talk about a lot of these types of questions. So there'll be a few things. But, yeah, no one standout item. Oh, my goodness. I think I might have actually caught up with comments. Holy Mish, can't wait to see some more great vids. I'm hanging to get out for a swing. Me too, buddy. At this point, I have no video lined up for next weekend, so I'm just hoping I can get out in time to actually bring you guys something.
Yeah, and that's where I always run the Outlook program, because it just open it, email works.
Used to work for that. I'm assuming that's Department of Defence. They don't give warnings. Yeah, that's fair, and they wouldn't give them by way of a YouTube comment either. That's okay. The FBI is still watching me. Are you living in a rural area for detecting these stuffs? Yes, I am way out in the country. So if I wanted to visit the sea, and my nearest city being Melbourne, it'd be a good couple of hours, if not more, of driving. So I don't tend to like the city much anyway. I did try living in it once. That was a horrible mistake. I'm more than happy to be back out in the country. No, Deb, I miss you. Do you find any foreign coins in Australia? Not too often, but I certainly do. Just thinking off the top of my head, countries I've found coins from, I found Indonesian, Singaporean, Russian, American, Thai. I've found Thai baht as well. Japanese. It's probably about it. So most of them, apart from the US coins, are sort of currencies close to Australia.
Yeah.
Yes, trust me, I am thinking of doing that settings video. I've been trying to plan it out basically the way I want to do it, because I want to show you how I set up for a park, how I set up for the beach, but I kind of want to go to each of those locations to show you the setup as well. So I've basically just been waiting on getting my beach access back before I put that together. Do let me know, guys, if there's anything else you want me to include in that sort of video, settings video. If there's anything in particular you want me to cover. I did have a request from one of my viewers to go further into how I notch out certain numbers. Yes, it's covered in the manual, and yes, as I think Jim mentioned before, a lot of guys don't read the manual. But yeah, so I'll cover a couple of those sort of frequently asked questions, I guess, about how to set up a Nox for basic hunting. But, and I can't find him in the recent list of comments to bring him back up again. So Dig It Detecting. If you go check out his channel, he's actually got a really good video on how he sets up his Equinox 800 for coin hunting. His settings are really, really good. See you later, Wazza. Thanks for dropping in, buddy. Very envious of your Aussie landscape for detecting. Thank you, Marty. We're very lucky in Australia. I mean, I can't think of any other countries that we've got everything from snowfields to tropics to desert to, you know, every possible landscape we could want is in our own country. And even though travel between our states is pretty difficult right now, once that side of things opens back up, yeah, we can go visit some cool stuff without even leaving the country. Do you think threshold is even useful? Okay, probably a two-part answer to this. Yes, I believe it's useful if you can tolerate it. So I have played with threshold on the Nox, turning it up till it's that sort of barely audible hum and listening out for the gaps in the hum and that sort of thing. To be honest, it probably added more anxiety to my detecting than anything. So while, yes, it's absolutely useful if you take the time to get the hang of it, it's probably not for me personally. But again, that said, if I use something like an Excalibur, I don't mind the threshold hum on that quite so much. So it could be a detector by detector basis as to, you know, what people like. It's kind of the same as when you get a detector, and like every brand of detector, the tones sound different. And there's some that I listen to on videos and go, there's just no way I could detect with that. So each to their own. Thank you very much, Cheapak. Appreciate it. Hello there, Starrylock. Long time no see. Hope you're doing well over there. Nah. Nora doesn't need any lessons for editing, I can tell you that much. So Dennis is referring to Nora Svet, who does some pretty amazing detecting videos herself. She uses an Excalibur too, does a lot of scuba adventures, that sort of thing. An absolute inspiration to me, and I'd consider her a good friend as well. So definitely worth checking out. But no, she's certainly not learning from me. I think it's more the other way around. It's just 14 degrees in Australia. It's 30 degrees in the morning. Oh, wow. I wish it was 30 degrees here right now. Yeah, I'm right down the southern edge of Australia. So I'm in one of the comparatively colder states in our nation. Yeah, it's pretty cold here today. It's very windy. It's not raining at the moment, but it's been raining pretty constantly over the last couple of days. Good evening, Gary. How are we? It's not evening here. It's nearly lunchtime here, in fact. For those who've only recently joined the stream, this clock here is cycling through the temperature. That's good timing. My sub count and the time. With the sub count too, if it goes up by 10 subs, it'll actually make a little noise. It's kind of a cool little clock. Big waste of money, of course, but sometimes we need fancy gadgets. Thanks so much. Luke, mate, you earn that support. You really know your stuff. You are an inspiration. I must admit, I don't get the time to watch a lot of your videos because they are longer, but some people absolutely love the long format videos, which we've noticed with your channel. It's absolutely blown up. So well done, you. I do need to go back and watch more though, because I feel like I keep learning quite a lot from you. Wish it was cooler here. Yeah, not this cool. It's too cool here. Is metal detecting catching on in Australia as much as the USA is? Seems like everyone and their mother's starting to detect it. Yeah, the same would be said for here, definitely. And look, I've only been detecting for a couple of years, but even in that couple of years, just the amount of detectorists that I've seen out on the beaches and the like has really blown up. That's not to say they're all good detectorists. I mean, a lot of them, and I'm sure a lot of you guys will relate, when you see new detectorists, you'll see the golf swing. So, you know, I'm fairly confident that there's still going to be stuff left to find. Howdy, Mish. I'm in Southern California at 6:45 p.m. here. I figured I was tying this in with the evening for the US. I probably will, maybe not today, but I will do another live stream sometime in the Australian evening so I can catch more Aussies. Excuse me. Yeah, but I figured I'd get a few people if I hopped on now. I'm basically just having my mid-morning. This is a cup of tea, not coffee for a change. It's actually going fairly cold because I'm talking too much. How dare I talk on a live stream? You have a hunt called Coffee Money. Some of us have a dig or die, and it's food for at the end of the day or not eat. It's kind of fun. Look, to be honest, mate, my workplace is closed right now. So, yeah, we're getting some government support, which is nice. But it's almost to the point where my only income is YouTube and detecting. So I can kind of relate. Look, fingers crossed I'll be back at work this week, but we'll see how we go. Seen a lot of new detectors around where I live. Yeah, I think, and especially every spring, summer season, I think you'll see an influx of new detectorists as well. You know, here summer lines up with Christmas. So quite a lot of people will get their detector for Christmas. So I'll notice in that sort of 2 weeks over Christmas, New Year's, you'll see an absolute ton of detectorists out on the beach. And then by the end of January, they drop right off again. What's your thoughts on detecting the old train stations around the area? Without going further into my locations, because I kind of keep that on the down low, yeah, there's probably a few train-related sites I could go and detect. In fact, I do have a video where I'm going for rail spikes at a former train station. So if you haven't seen that one, try and hunt that one down. I will go back to that because my Nox actually died on that hunt. The battery went flat, like it didn't charge properly. It turned out to be an actual fault with the machine, so I had it replaced under warranty. But yeah, there will be a few more train-related videos in the future, I think. Oh, everyone's talking about pizza in the chat. I'm getting ready to eat the best pizza ever, Lumberjack's Pizza. Is Lumberjack's the brand, or is that the toppings you're getting? You're going to have to explain that one to me. Ciao, Mr. Gorn. Lovely to see you in the chat. My favorite Italian detectorist. Ah, okay, sorry. I did misunderstand that. My bad. I do like my hunts for coffee money. A lot of my coffee money hunts actually end up being banked towards the next detecting purchase. So it's very rare that I actually spend it on coffee. I usually come home and make the coffee at home anyway, but it's just become that fun little phrase. And it's a good measure of what I deem a successful hunt for coins, for modern coins, that is. Now, Gary's saying, I want to get a drone. That's something else. We talked a little bit earlier about what sort of equipment is on my wish list. Yeah, that's probably another thing that's on the list there. It's not high on the list just because I do a lot of filming on my own. So I think to pack a drone as well as all the other gear that I'm carrying solo, it's just a little bit too much to juggle. And also I wouldn't put a drone up in my local areas because I do like to keep my local areas quite private and discreet, and that's just like a safety thing. You know, I live out in a regional area. I'm not in a big city. Oops, wrong comment. It's a little family-owned pizzeria and it's pretty much an all-meat pizza. Sounds good. Sounds good. What's everyone's favourite type of pizza toppings? We've started making our own pizzas at home each week. It's really good. And oh, I've actually caught up on comments again. That and an editing computer. Yep, that's also on my wish list as well. So the thing I'm streaming from right now and the thing I do all my editing on is a 2012 MacBook Pro. So it's pretty much at the end of its functional life. The resolution of the screen's, I think, like 1280 by 800. It's not great. So especially with editing, it's very hard to kind of fit all the boxes on the screen. But I'm standing by because they're announcing the new MacBook Pros within the next couple of months, and they're going to bring back things like the SD card slot, the magnetic charger, basically all the features I really love about this old MacBook. They're finally bringing back on the new one because they've been gone for a couple of years. So stand by on that one. I think I'll probably update my computer at the end of the year. Hello, how are you? Wish me find gold treasure. Yes, fingers crossed. I don't find a whole lot of gold where I am. I found some gold, but being such a quiet area and an area that wasn't settled really until the 1900s, there's not a lot of history, there's not a lot of population. So I sort of get what I get, but usually I'm pretty lucky on coins. And now that I've got my new 15-inch coil, I'm hoping to go back to some of my older locations and maybe get some coins that are deeper in the sand and the soil that everyone else has missed previously. Fingers crossed. Oh, the pizzas are coming through. Let's have a look. Who likes what? Italian sausage, pepperoni, bacon, cheese sauce, and olives. Nice. Everything or just cheese. So all or nothing kind of gal, huh, Dawn? I like it. Bacon, green pepper, pepperoni. So green peppers over here, we actually call them capsicum. We're one of those weird countries. Wish I could send a picture. Yeah, I haven't quite got that worked out here. Detecting up there, dig it down. Oh, that wasn't me. Gary's also getting an iMac. Good stuff. I had a big iMac years and years ago, but I think I'm going to stick with the MacBook Pro just for the portability, because quite often I have been editing videos while I've been away on filming or catching up with family, that sort of thing. When my son was little, we used to do build your own pizza. Now, I used to do that too, to be honest. My mother had a wood fireplace, so we'd make the dough in the morning and we'd actually set it by the fireplace during the day. So by the end of the day, it had risen quite substantially and they were absolutely delicious. These days, we kind of do a similar thing at home. So we've got a little portable pizza oven at home. And again, dough gets made in the morning, is left to rise all day. Delicious pizzas at night. Now I want to eat a pizza. Dan asks, have I met the Aussie beach hunters? No, and I really, really want to. So Aussie beach hunters, they're also on the opposite side of the country to me. So it would be a couple of days, if not more, driving. This ties in with what Plugs for Days just said about how far I am from Perth. So they're over in WA. They were actually my very first subscriber on YouTube. So I've always got a special place in my heart for them. And yes, I'd absolutely love to meet them one day, meet Courtney's bubs. Yeah, they're good people. Beaches here in SoCal have been scoured clean. It's hard to even find a bottle cap. I've got a couple of beaches like that, though I don't know that that's the case, that they've been scoured. It's just probably more that no one's been there or the sand's risen on them quite a bit. And because they get so few visits, the targets are few and far between. But I'd imagine over that way, they'd be detected quite heavily. Ooh, another pizza. I love home cooking pizza. Throw on any toppings and cook and eat. Buffalo chicken and barbecue chicken pizza. They sound good. Yeah, how far am I from Perth? A very, very long way away. 2 states, 2.5 states, because I'd have to travel halfway across mine as well. Yeah, very, very far. Do I GPS my hunt so I don't go back over an area I've already been to? No, not at this point. it's kind of all done by memory at this point. It's probably something I would look to in future, or if I ended up getting a detector like the CTX, I'd start actually logging that sort of thing in that. Yeah, no, I haven't fiddled with that yet. Thank you for the brand recommendation, though. Do I have any stickers or merchandise? I've had a play with making an online store. I feel a little bit weird about making merch for my channel. I know I shouldn't. I mean, I'm literally sitting here wearing merch from another channel. But yeah, I've played with it. I just haven't actually got it up and running, but it's in the works. Is there any particular merchandise you guys would actually want? I mean, is that something that's wanted? I don't know. Let me know. I'll certainly know what to prioritize based on what you guys tell me. Hey, George. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you in here. I love all your comments. I've actually caught up on comments again, guys. I might actually get to drink some of my tea. Mug's almost as big as my head. So I typically start the day with a small coffee, very intense coffee, and then this is kind of my mid-morning or mid-afternoon tea. So probably a little bit too much caffeine when I think about it, but definitely stickers or hoodies. Okay, that's good to know. As I say, I've had a play with it, and I never really committed to making up the merch properly. I did think something like okay, I've had a lag on the comments and they've all just come through. I have thought of doing something like a coffee mug as well, because I think that's kind of relevant. You know, I'm always talking about coffee money, but yeah, cool. Thank you. You can get a Garmin GPS and do something similar. Yeah, look, again, I might play with it eventually. I haven't done it yet, but if I end up getting lost somewhere, that's probably going to be the push to finally get a GPS. Hey, that is the size of coffee cup I need. Yeah, it's like a $2 mug from Kmart in Australia. Well worth it. It's huge. Shirts are always a hit. All right, you're inspiring me, guys. I will look into getting that sorted. Thank you. Oh, anytime, George. You're awesome. Thank you very much. Please make a sticker. Do you want it to just be the channel logo, or do you want some sort of phrase on there? Like, I mean, I'll make it. Can I send you one of our shit? Of course you can, buddy. I mean, the postage is probably going to be horrendous to Australia, but yeah, look, I won't say no. If you want to do that, just head to my YouTube channel, and in the About tab, there's like a contact, or my email is just my channel name at Gmail, and we can tee something up in there if you like. Thank you. Like, I'll see you out one day. My feed feels a lot with no hairy fish or a barbecue chicken. Sounds good? Sounds good. Hello, Mish. How are you? I'm good. How are you, more to the point? I'm doing good. I'm really chuffed that so many of you have come in and kept me company today. I was honestly expecting maybe 2 or 3 people to turn up and then run out of things to talk about. But you guys have kept me going for, I can see, just over an hour now. That's amazing. That said, I probably will head for lunch soon. Gary says, if anyone wants stickers, email him. So if people want stickers, go find that guy in the chat. Good on you, Gary. If you do it, women's shirts as well. Okay. Yep, noted. I tend to personally buy the guys' shirts because I like the longer arms. The women's shirts have got the little, you know, the sleeves, the little baby doll type cut sleeves. They just don't look right on me because I'm actually fairly, without tooting my own horn, fairly muscular on the upper half just because of some sports and stuff I used to do previously. So that the women's fit shirts do not work on me, but absolutely I can add them to the range. Gotta go. Catch you later, mate. Thank you for joining me. Hello, Mark. How are you, mate? So, guys, if you haven't seen Mockpot's channel here, so this is Mark. Right there. Hi, Mark. Mark makes diving content and he uses one of those underwater diving vehicles that propels you around, a DPV, I think they call them. One of my inspirations for getting into scuba diving. So very good to have you in the chat. Hello, Tyger. How are you, buddy? Oh, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. I'm clicking on all the wrong comments. No. It's all out of control now. Here we go. Good night, Mish. I have to go. It's been nice seeing the chat. Yeah, take care to you too, John. Thank you very much for joining me in the chat. I really appreciate it. Gary, I'll put your email up for a sec, bud. So if people are wanting stickers from Gary's metal detecting, that's the email address you need. I'll give you maybe 10 seconds or so before I put the next comment up. You can always pause the stream if you need to as well. This next one's with regards to my own stickers that people are wanting me to produce. Channel logo would be good for a start. Yep, absolutely. I'll make up a channel logo sticker. Hopefully the merchandise store I decided to go with has stickers. I think they do. Yeah, I'll work on that. Sorry, Dan, I'm putting this one up. My wife bought me a woman's t-shirt on accident. I put it on and knew right away because of how the sleeves were cut. Yeah, women's shirts are cut weird, man. Like, I get that they taper in at the waist just so that they're not baggy around the sides on a lot of women. But yeah, those sleeves, they do not work on me at all. This is fun. Go live more. Oh, thank you. Well, look, the intention is, well, this is certainly going to be something I'll utilize in cases of lockdown where I can't get out and about. And certainly we're in winter at the moment. So there's probably going to be incidents where I can't get out to film just because the weather's terrible. So this might be a backup option. But I really appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. Someone's actually done a donation in my chat here, and I haven't been seeing them because they don't come up on the screen that I'm on. I can't even see it fully. I'm so sorry. I can see like NH Beach metal detecting. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I hope I haven't missed anyone else. But yeah, it doesn't come up on the, I'm using like a streaming software and the donations weren't coming up. Thank you. Good night, Mish. 3:30 a.m. comes quickly for me. Work tomorrow. Good night, George. 3:30 start. Wow. Or is it 3:30 now? I don't know, but that's really early in the morning. Oh, okay. The donations do come up in my chat. I've just seen it now. Sorry about that. Pair character lifting some weights saying keep it up. So I think, yeah, there we go. Oh, okay. It's actually describing, I was confused by that, but it's describing the sticker that you guys saw in the YouTube chat. Okay. Forgive me. I wouldn't say I'm technically incompetent, but just because I'm on a different screen that's not showing up right. But thank you so much. Yes, thank you very much. Go live on a hunt, those are always sweet. So I don't tend to go live on a hunt just because the phone reception down at my beaches is not stable, but also my phone, its battery life is not stable. So it would run out of battery really, really quickly if I was streaming. I have toyed with the idea. I just don't think that I've got the capability to do it at the moment. I could, yeah, maybe do it in town or something, but trust me when I say that with those park hunts and the way I edit them with digging up, like my digging is a bit clunky sometimes. It'd be a bit cringeworthy on a live stream. Have a good evening, Gary. I'm probably going to head off soon myself as well, just because I better have some lunch. But yes, I saw the donation in the end. It did come through my thing. I've probably got about a 2-minute lag on when you guys are actually posting in the YouTube chat to when I'm seeing it in my streaming software. I'll work on that. I might be able to end up running the things side by side so I can kind of see it live and then see it when it finally comes through. But thank you very much. I appreciate that. I would get a coffee cup if you make them. Yeah, okay. I'm going to look into coffee cups, stickers, shirts. Someone said a hoodie as well. I didn't know that people would actually want that, but yeah, I'll work on it. Thank you. Thanks, Wayne. Have a good evening. Appreciate you coming in. Used to pop out through to the right at the top of the chat on YouTube. Yeah, something's goofed up on my YouTube tab, which is why I can't. So I had the live streaming tab open on YouTube as well, and yeah, it's not opening the things I want it to open. So I can't actually see the chat properly in it right now. And I sort of fear if I try and reload that tab that I'll actually kill the live stream. So I'll attempt to have this sorted for next time around. So if that's going to be the worst teething problem I get, then I've not done too badly. Is it my first live? Yes, it is. Thank you for a great stream. Time for bed. I'm up pretty early. Have a good evening. Thank you very much for joining me. It's another good channel to watch, guys. Canadian Relic Recon. Hello, Las Vegas Urban Treasure Hunter. I can see you in the chat there too. Did you first start this hobby as a teen? No, my teens are way too many years ago. I'm still a relative newbie to the hobby, to be honest. I've been detecting for maybe just over 2 years, 2.5 years, maybe, not long. So it's just kind of a learn by repetition thing at the moment. But I certainly wouldn't consider myself an expert on anything. So this is why I've held off for so long. You know, people have been asking for settings videos and tips and tricks and that sort of thing. You know, I don't want to be responsible for giving out info that I'm not yet completely confident on. But I think I'm at the point now that I can certainly explain my settings, why I use them, why you might want to use them, but also why it might be worth using different settings. You know, and everyone's turf is different too, so my settings might not necessarily be applicable to yours. I really kind of went off topic with what you just asked, but that's cool. All right, Luke's got to head off. Thank you for joining me, mate. We will definitely go hunting this year. Let's lock that in. Sometime this year, yeah, we can go up and chase the yellow stuff, I suppose. That sounds good to me. G'day, Brad. How are you, mate? I'm going well. How about you? Fridge magnets. I hadn't thought about that one. Yeah, okay. We'll see whether the birch straw I'm going with can do that. And ooh. Oh my goodness. Thank you. I'm going to pronounce this wrong, but Asepsol? Wow. I've just received a large donation, guys. Thank you very much. It hasn't come through on my little live stream thing to actually put up here yet. Sorry, I'm going to have to skip a few comments here just to catch up. No worries, you're offering help, you're so thank you, River6. Zazzle's a good online print on demand. Yeah, this is the donation I'm talking about, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Please don't ever assume that these live streams are a call for donations, by the way, guys, too. Like, you know, that is super awesome. I am really appreciative, but please don't ever think that I'm sitting here begging for them. But I will absolutely, any donations like that that come through, they're going to go towards gear. So you'll ultimately reap the benefits in that it will help me provide more content to you guys. 2 years detecting, yes, you're still green around the gills. Absolutely. And then when you think I've only been diving for, you know, not long at all. So everything's a learning process. If you were to try out a different detector, what would it be? Pretty much open to giving any detector a go. You know, ultimately they're all intending to find metal in the ground. So yeah, we give them a shot. It's pretty hard to stray from the Equinox. I do like that. However, I've been keeping my ear to the ground for the new Nokta Makro machine. They're bringing out a multi-frequency machine that they're marketing to be, I forget how they word it. It was really funny. They're marketing it to be a competitor to a current multi-frequency market leader, so the Equinox. I'm not sure exactly when or where that's happening, but yeah, I'm hanging out for news on that one. I have mentioned that I want to get something like an Excalibur as well. I'd play with something like a CTX as well for the GPS side of things. Yeah, I'd give lots of different detectors a go. I have only played with Minelab machines at this point, so. I know, right? That is amazing. I'm really, really grateful. So thank you. I think I've got a few heading off to bed now. Good night, Dan. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for all your comments on my videos too. I really do appreciate it. Keep up the coffee clad. I hope so. I'm looking out the window at the moment. It's cold and yucky. I've got to get out this week. I've got to film something. I just can't bring myself to just go, oh, sorry guys, nothing this week. There'll be something. I just don't know what. And it's an expensive hobby. My word, it is. When I think about how much money I've put, well, actually, I really don't want to think about it, but when I do think about how much money I've put into detecting gear, stuff for the channel, it's in the thousands. Yeah, detectors alone would be at least a couple of thousand. But then once you add on GoPros, audio equipment, that sort of thing, yeah, it's probably best not to think about those figures, if I'm honest. Hello, Doug. I can't see your comment. There it is. G'day, Mish. Happened to be passing by. Now, Doug always leaves me these really long, beautiful comments. He's a detectorist over in the US. Yeah, always really appreciate your comments. They're very thoughtful. So lovely to see you in the chat today. CTX is a great machine. I'm definitely going to play with one day. I might just see if someone I know has one and just have a play for a day. Excal 2, yes, on the wish list. Gorgeous day today. Sky is blue, ocean's perfect, water's clear, tides are perfect, and I'm at work. Well, I'm kind of the opposite. So I'm not at work and it's kind of cold and I can't go anywhere. Well, I can't go far. It's not true to say I can't go anywhere, but I can't go far and I can't go out for long. But hopefully restrictions ease in about 24 hours and then I'm good to go again. I'm going out tomorrow, lake hunts. That sounds nice. I don't have really much by way of lakes where I am. I have detected a large lake, and that was when I went over to meet the coffee bush kid. Or not meet him, it was probably about our third hunt together, I think. Didn't find much there, unfortunately, but it was nice detecting a lakeside. I love my Excalibur too. Oh, I'm so jealous. It is on the wish list. The next thing I'm getting is that I'm finishing off my scuba kit. Like I asked you guys in a poll recently on the community tab on my channel. So I'm going to go with what you guys said by order of how you voted. So we'll get the scuba kit first, get some practice up with that. I probably won't detect with my scuba gear for the first couple of dives, just simply because safety's got to be a priority. So I'm not going to throw holding a detector into the mix when I'm already looking at so many gauges and working on buoyancy and that sort of thing. Like safety is at the core of what I do. A lot of those, well, all of those dives that you've watched me do have been so slow and calculated and careful because it's just not worth rushing into it for the sake of treasure hunting. Sorry, I have to fly through a few more comments again, guys. I'm losing track again. Hello there, Stephen. I bought the CTX in 2013. It's a great machine for geo and grid. After 2 years with the Nox, I sold the CTX. It's very heavy. And yeah, that was my concern, was the weight of a CTX. I forget exactly what they are off the top of my head, but I think it's like 2.5 times what I'm currently carrying. So yeah, probably a little bit heavy. Oh, thank you. Dogstar's given me a donation here. I love how this stream software actually describes the sticker that you've pasted. I need to actually hop over to see what the sticker, oh yeah, I see what the sticker looks like now. A pair character punching the air with fist and bump written on his knuckles. Good stuff. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I used an X-Cal tonight, but get a straight shaft, it's heavy. I think if I were to get an X-Cal, I'd look at maybe, I don't know, getting like a carbon shaft or something, but I'd probably be using it with a short dive shaft anyway. And maybe hip mounting the console rather than having it on the actual shaft. You know, it's all well and good me saying this. I'd have to see what I'm like once I actually get it as to how I'd prefer to wield it. But yeah. Still really behind on the comments here, guys. I'm trying to catch up. Curbside scraping yesterday. Wife's not happy. We'll get a new detector and some. Nokta Makro PulseDive. Yeah, the PulseDive's fun. I really enjoy my little PulseDive. Yes, do a video on that. I would watch that. Today I found this ring that I thought was blue sapphire. Turns out it's costume jewelry. I even went to the jewelry shop. They laughed at me, but I had to, exactly, you wouldn't have known unless you asked. So, you know, as long as you laughed too when that was the case, that's the main thing. In comparison with the CTX, the Nox feels like a feather. Yeah, especially like I've tweaked my Nox with the carbon shaft and everything too. So it's quite lightweight these days. Not with the 15-inch coil on, though, I must say. That certainly made it heavy once more. I realise this scuba gear is life support. Absolutely, you know, like I'm not, you know, you've got to dive within your limitations. And yeah, you've got to know your gear. And my first few dives will be with gear that's relatively new to me. I mean, I've bought my BCD already. I've worn it as in chucked it on around the house, but, you know, I haven't actually played with it in the water yet. So yeah, bit by bit. Have I had the chance to use the Coil Tech coils for the Equinox? Not yet. And I'm drawing a long breath here because when I bought my 15-inch coil, I had to decide between the Coil Tech 15-inch and the Minelab 15B12. I ended up going with the Minelab simply on a case of weight. So the Minelab one it's something like 660 gram. The Coil Tech is 800 and something. Yeah, so that was a bit of a factor for me, because if I'm filming, I'm swinging for hours at a time. And I already have a few grip issues that play up if I swing with too heavy a gear for too long. So I probably will play, you know, I might get one of the smaller ones eventually too. We'll see what time brings. I'm certainly not knocking them though. Like, I've heard good things about them, and I've certainly seen people find good things with them too. You have an awesome following. It's well deserved. Your channel's always on point. Thank you. I've felt that it's been really hard to keep up the momentum because we've been in and out of lockdown lately. So, you know, forgive me if I am struggling to provide the variety at the moment. There's a lot of land hunts right now. It's just simply because that's all I can access. And, you know, that scenic dive that I just brought out had no detecting whatsoever. I want to do more of those, but I will probably never take my channel away from the core, which is detecting. There might be some scenic dives added into the mix periodically, but it's not about to flip the switch and become an all diving channel. Yeah, I'm sort of planning to provide a variety of treasure hunting and maybe just a couple of extra adventures here and there. You've seen me do a few camping and the like videos as well, so occasionally there's something else thrown in the mix. Thank you for a wonderful chat. Have to sleep. Wife's giving me dirty. Yep, you can't upset the wife. Absolutely. So have a good night, Dennis. Thank you for joining me. Love my PulseDive. Me too. What depth can the PulseDive get? Now, I don't know, Brad, whether you're referring to detection depth or diving depth. Diving depth is really, really far. I forget off the top of my head, but it's well below what we're going to take it to. Detection depth, now I've only got the stock like 5.5-inch coil on it. I don't really know the maximum depth I can get with it yet, because I'd have to say I'm still learning with the Scuba coil PulseDive setup. But, you know, like, I don't know. I'd have to keep playing with it to give you an actual thing. But if you go to, I think it's Treasure Adventure on YouTube, he's got some air tests with distance. I know air tests aren't the same as in the wild, but it should start to give you an idea. Hello, everything metal detecting. You doing any detecting around your 5 kilometres in Melbourne, or just waiting for the lockdown to be over? I'm actually nowhere near Melbourne. I'm way out in a regional area. I have been doing a couple of land digs, just local parks and the like. I can't get to any of my normal beaches right now. And the motivation's been pretty low, I'll be honest. So I've pretty much been bunkering down, just waiting for the lockdown to be over. But the weather's pretty terrible here too. I just hit the bell notification so I'll be notified when you go live or upload something. I recommend everyone do that. Cheers. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that little, I never talk about the bell notification because I don't want to sound cheesy with that sort of thing. But yeah, that's kind of the way that you'll get a little pop-up each time your favorite YouTubers upload a video or go live, that sort of thing. You know, you certainly wouldn't want to do it for every channel that you follow, but if there's particular channels that you don't want to miss content from, it's always worth hitting that little bell icon. So thank you. I won't go live too often anyway. But I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with this as each minute passes. You guys have been really, really awesome. Jeremy would like to know a good artist. He's in the market for someone to draw him up a sticker. So if any of you guys in the chat fit that category, find this guy. I had the Coiltech in the late 1990s. Coiltech is excellent. Oh, it's good to know. They've certainly been around, like they've stood the test of time. So I know they'll know their stuff. I dove with 117s and Halcyon Tech regs and a shearwater computer, never skimp onto. I agree. I absolutely agree. So that's why it's taking me so long to put my scuba kit together. So I could have, you know, spent a couple of $100 and just picked up someone's secondhand set and away you go. But you don't know what the servicing history is like. You don't know if there's any faults with the gear. The quality of the gear itself might have been terrible to begin with. So no, I'm absolutely taking my time getting it done right. Yeah, not skimping on that sort of thing. Hi, David. Good to see you too. 200 feet deep. Yep, this is with regard to the PulseDive. Yeah, they can go deep. Well, I'm glad to know that the FBI's just discovered my channel. You said you were watching me. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. My channel is very much a quality over quantity. I don't bring out a ton of videos, but I try to make them, I guess I market mine so that they're easy listening and easy watching. Like I like to have smooth transitions and not yell at you and that sort of thing. You know, everyone likes a different thing with their detecting videos. Some prefer longer and shorter and that sort of thing. But yeah, my shtick is just kind of easygoing content. My content usually sounds pretty good in headphones too, guys. I don't mention that typically, but because I edit in headphones, I try and balance it so that it sounds really good with them. So just something to know. This one channel has a blooper part of his channel. It's so fun. Funny, sometimes you have something else and it turns out it's due to trash. Do a blooper part. In my latest video, so my diving video, there's actually some bloopers at the very end. I don't do them in every video, but every so often I do tack on bloopers to the end. So I certainly know the ones that watch all the way to the finish. Yeah, I don't put them in often, but you'll find some bloopers at the end of the dive vid. And sometimes I put them in the middle of the video too. I mean, I did a park hunt a little while back now. It's probably about 6 months ago now, actually. And I was kneeling down, digging up a target, and this large dog was let off lead and it came bounding towards me. It was just excited. It didn't want to attack me, but it actually bowled me completely over. And I think I got some of that on camera. If you're going to get a Coiltech Nox coil, recommend the 10B5. So my mate, the Coffee Bush kid, Andrew, actually has the 10B5 coil. So I'll probably end up giving that a play next time I catch up with him because he'll have that sitting around, I'm sure. So then I'll be able to see what all these Coiltech people rave about because certainly I've been told they're really good silver sniffers. And also on the Coiltech here, the large coil's way worth it. Oh, I'm way behind in comments again. Both diving and underwater detecting is equally awesome. Like I say, there's something about finding the unknown search. Sorry, Mitch. Yeah, mentioned the detection compared to the X-Cal. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't know because I haven't actually had a play with an X-Cal yet. Really want to. Ohio. How are you, Cricket? Good to see you, mate. Cricket makes really fun and upbeat detecting videos in Okinawa, Japan. Well worth a watch. I'm sure a lot of you know her already. Treasure hunters need to support one another for sure. I support all the cool, honest channels. Yeah, look, I try and keep mine real. Sometimes real to a point that I did wonder, you know, should I even bother uploading this video? Because all I found is like 10 pull tabs and a sinker. You know, there are some videos that don't quite get off the cutting room floor for that reason. But certainly what you see in my videos, all my finds are real. I try and include a picture of the trash at the end as well, just so people can get a feel of how many junk targets I'm digging to get the good targets. Now, if I was being fussy, I could probably avoid digging a lot of that trash, because a lot of the times I'll be scanning it and I'll go, yeah, look, I know this is a bottle cap, but, you know, sometimes it's just going to be that little bit of jewelry that has that rusty link attached. You know, you got to dig it. Hello and goodbye, Randolph. I'm still way behind in comments, guys. Have you thought of Patreon? Yeah, not really. So I use the service Buy Me a Coffee. So you'll find that link in the description of my videos, but also on my channel page, there's a little icon that says Buy Me a Coffee. That's kind of my tip jar. So people can buy me, or they're basically donating the equivalent value of a cup of coffee in Australia to me. You know, they can donate coffee to $5, whatever. I've sort of done it that way because, I don't know, I feel a bit weird about commanding a monthly fee from people just for what I do, because I'm not doing, I don't know, I can't think of the words, but, you know, it's not a cause, I guess. I'm just someone who's going out metal detecting for fun and sharing it with you guys. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's something I should consider, but that's why I haven't done it. Learning how to make videos. It was so funny. I uploaded stuff today. Some of the scenes were upside down, sideways. Yeah. I hate it when you, like, I record with my GoPro typically, but sometimes I'll get some extra shots using my iPhone, and sometimes I won't quite tilt it right before I start recording. So when I go to review it, it's actually like 90 degrees or whatever. So there's been a few I've had to actually fix in editing just to get them to sit the right way. I still don't know how to swim. I need to learn it. Yes, learn how to swim. Very, very important. Probably more important where I live. I don't know where you live, but I live on a coastline, so it's pretty much a mandatory thing that you need to know how to swim where I am. But absolutely, get onto it. It's harder to pick up the older you get, I believe. So the sooner you get into it, the better. Grey Ghost headphones, you won't be sorry. Maybe eventually. There is a long shopping list written down here. It'll be on there somewhere. Trying to catch up. If you have an Apple computer, it comes with a really good editing program that will fix your issues. I'm assuming, Cricket, that you are referring to iMovie, which is free software that you can get for Apple devices. You can get it for the iPhone as well. When I started on YouTube, so my very first videos, and probably for the first 4 or 5 months or so, I was actually using iMovie to edit. So it was all done completely on my iPhone. I would film the video on my GoPro, and then I would I'd upload from the GoPro to the cloud. I'd then go from the GoPro cloud back down to my phone, and then I would edit in iMovie and export from there. I now, thankfully, use the computer to edit because it was a nightmare doing it on a teeny tiny phone screen, and I use Final Cut Pro on the Mac. I know I kind of jumped in your conversation there, but David asks, was wondering if anyone's compared the Minelab Pro 35 against the PulseDive. I'd love to hear others' experiences. I haven't personally, but if anyone has, do you want to just let David know in the chat? That would be ace. The only pinpointers I've used were, I started out with like one of those $20 unbranded no-name pinpointers. And look, it did the job when I was starting out. So, you know, for all intents and purposes, it did what I needed it to do. Unfortunately, I dipped it a little too deep in a puddle when I was detecting. And yeah, that was the end of that. It wasn't waterproof. So then I went from that to the PulseDive. I do still want to get an actual land pinpointer as well, just because the PulseDive is quite bulky, the 2-in-1 version. But yeah, I haven't committed to that yet. I have 2 X-Cals. One has a coil problem, but will be repaired to use as a backup or to send to your lovely friend down in Victoria. You know, just saying. I'm kidding. Great machine. I love it when it sings sweet songs to me, letting me know that there are goodies hidden. That sounds like poetry, Brad. I am looking forward to having one. Oh, Gary ate too much pizza. Well, that's what you get for making me hungry over here, man. That's karma. That sounds like a lot of, this is to do with my video editing process. I use Final Cut Pro 2, love it. Still don't know all the fun gadgets for getting. It is a really powerful piece of software. I mean, it'd want to be for the cost, but yeah, there's certainly nothing I've come across that I can't do between that. And I also use Apple Motion to make my subtitles. I'm actually due to kind of refresh the subtitles and everything. I want to make them a little bit more polished. I know people are probably going to say I'm being a bit pedantic here, but I want to make them a little bit easier to read too, because I know that the font I use for some of the titles, so the same font that's in my DirtFishMish logo, is a little bit too scripty, and it's probably a bit hard to read, especially if English is not your first language. Yeah, don't get in the water without knowing how to swim. The water is a dangerous place if you're not tuned in and able to swim. Be safe. Absolutely. Really solid advice there, Brad. Plus Mr. Grey suit. So yeah, we get sharks down where I am too. Don't typically get massive sharks in the areas that I go detecting. A lot of smaller docile sort of sharks where I am, and I do hope to actually get some on footage for you eventually. You see a quick snippet of one in a photo in my scuba diving video where I learned how to scuba dive. We've got these sharks called Port Jackson sharks, and they're quite small really, but completely docile. They're non-aggressive. And I actually had one come right up to me in a dive, but I wasn't filming it at the time. That was a very special moment. Skipping through a few comments here. Here's an answer to Pinpointer comparisons. Compared the Pro 25 and Garrett Carrot. Better in pinpoint, obviously not the dive coil, but the PulseDive with the large coil is great. Much better than the small coil. PulseDive large coil is also on my shopping list. As I say, it's a list about this long. The thing I like about the larger PulseDive coil and what I've noticed with people who use that is when they get the target, because it's such a large coil, it's like that, they can actually stick their hand through the middle to grab at a target if they need to. The only downside, I guess, to the PulseDive with the scuba coil for me is because I'm currently wearing a 5mm dive hood, it's really, really hard to hear it under the water. Do you metal detect the coastlines, Mish? Like 5 and detect underwater? I do metal detect the coastlines. Diving and detecting underwater is still relatively new for me. I've only done it a couple of times. And to be honest, I'm prioritizing my diving more than my detecting at the moment with my underwater activity, because I've still got a lot to learn about buoyancy and you know, I want to be safe. Like safety is way above detecting. Yeah, so I will do more underwater metal detecting, but you'll have to forgive me with the early dives. I probably won't find much because I will be focusing on a lot of other stuff. I had a wobbegong, so it's a type of shark we've got down here. I had a wobbegong grab my coil the other day and scared the poop out of me. Yeah, I can certainly understand that being the case. Were you filming though? That's the big question. I need the PulseDive large coil too. The small one is just so taxing, takes forever to get over any real estate. I guess it probably depends on the area detecting in, you know, like if you're doing a rocky reef, I can imagine that the 6-inch coil or 5.5-inch coil is probably better in that circumstance, just because you can navigate it into all the tiny little nooks, and you don't need it to go particularly deep anyway. But yeah, certainly for a more open sandy area, you'd want that larger coil for sure. Now, I just want to point out, my watch is actually giving me notifications here. I'm actually getting coffees bought for me from Vicky at the moment. So Vicky, if you can see me in this chat, thank you so much. I will look at the details soon. I'm kind of stuck on this screen at the moment, but thank you. That's awesome. Wouldn't it be so fun to metal detect at 60 feet and actually find super old stuff? My dream. Yes. How good would that be? Something I'd kind of like to do eventually. But again, my first several, if not more, scuba dives are going to be pretty much focused on just reading my gauges, working on my buoyancy, working on my peripheral awareness and my navigation underwater as well, which is super important where I am. Yes, but hopefully there'll be things like swimming holes and stuff that I'll give a go to, where you can't really get lost because it's just a big circular dam or whatever. But could I politely ask, what is a wobbegong? Yeah, that's why I clarified it when I brought that last comment up from Brad. So it's a type of shark. It's not massive, but they've got a fair little nip to them. I certainly wouldn't want to upset one, but it's not going to run off with my arm either. Just got a glimpse on film vid. This is of the wobbegong. It's scored heaps of lures and a ton of lead. So Brad publishes videos on YouTube as well. He does a lot of Nemo diving. He does a lot of removing lead from lakes and all sorts of locations, really. He's caught up with Down Under Dan diving a couple of times as well. Really, really good content, and certainly a bloke I'd love to meet and detect with one day. We will go on a dive together eventually. Now, guys, I probably will wrap up soon because I think my family's holding off on having lunch simply because I'm talking in the middle of the dining room right now. On another tack, I tried detecting waist deep and couldn't manage to line up target to scoop. Do I need to be more patient and practice? Yeah, look, it can be certainly hard to pinpoint something underwater, especially if it's a silty or sandy bottom and you've sort of kicked up this cloud and you can't see what you're doing. What I typically do is I do try and run pinpoint for some of the smaller targets. I get the coil to where I think the target's in the middle of the coil, and then what I do, I can't really, let's just say this is my coil, okay? So this is the edge of my coil. I will then put my foot here. I will remove the coil, and then my scoop will line up with the end of my foot. I'll take my foot away and then I'll dig. You know, you can kind of try to line it up underwater like that. Try practicing that method on sand too. Like you might be able to utilize that method up on the beach as well. You'll get there though. Definitely keep practicing. Have a decent sized scoop as well. If you've got a teeny tiny scoop, it's going to be an effort because the thing will move around each time you scoop as well. I think at 60 foot it'd be difficult to locate anything unless you know a specific wreck to dive. Yeah, and I guess it depends on the situation too, you know, like if it's immediately downhill from a popular swimming spot, you know, so it's a gradient that goes down, you might be able to find stuff in that area, but it's going to be very area specific, I think. All right. Thanks for the live stream, Mish. My bed is calling. It's almost 11 p.m. Looking forward to your next video. Cheers, Marty. Thank you, Marty. Thank you for joining me. All right, guys, I probably will wrap it up at this point anyway, because it is nearly 1 p.m. My family have not had any lunch. As I say, they're probably just hiding out while I'm chatting away here. Perfect description. I follow exactly what you're saying. Thank you. No worries. Yeah, give it a go. Let me know how you go. Like, drop me a comment at some point after you've given that method a try and let me know how it goes. I'll be going, look, carpet shark can be nasty if stirred up. Mainly a fish eater scavenger will have a go, no worries. Yeah, so wobbegongs, yeah, they're the type that you just kind of If you see them, just leave them be and you'll be right. Kind of like an eel, I guess. All right. So I hope a couple of dozen people have just learned what a wobbegong is. That's your educational component of the live stream today. But thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to finish off my cold cup of tea now and maybe go get some lunch. I know a lot of you are late evening or in the middle of the night, depending on where you are now. And I'm sure the Aussies have got a bit to do this afternoon. So take care, everyone. Thanks again. And I'll catch you next time. Cheers.